Electricity North West is responsible for delivering electricity to 2.4 million customers and businesses across the North West. What we're seeing is a really exponential increase in the adoption of electric vehicles. So I think today we've got about 15,000 EVs on our network. By 2030, that number will have grown to nearer 1 million. Our role here in the North West is to ensure that anybody who wants to adopt an electric vehicle or any kind of low carbon technology can do so whenever and wherever they need it.
Over the last 12 months, businesses have got themselves in a space where they're thinking much more about electric vehicles, and the kind of questions that people are asking us are, what kind of range can we expect to achieve from an electric vehicle? Is the charging infrastructure available? How much do these things cost? One of the things that we try and do is distill out what are the key, most relevant bits of the latest government policy announcement or latest grant funding programme in a way that it's really practically useful and relevant to them right now. And businesses want to know, who do they need to talk to make things happen.
Transportation accounts for over 50% of our emissions as a business. So this is a way for us to lead by example. So what we've done is at each of our 15 depots, we've installed 117 charge points. They vary in size. Employees can come to work, they can charge for free. As soon as we started putting charge points in depots, the amount of people that wanted to make that switch, you know, from an economic level but also environmental level as well, was brilliant to see for us as a business.
We used to have quite a rigid car scheme. With the electric cars, the government changed a lot of the tax legislation around that, whereby there's some massive savings for both employees and employers on tax and national insurance. Scenario could be maybe £10,000 saving in tax over a 4-year lease, so really significant for employees. Businesses save about £2,000 per annum saving for a business, so when you scale it up to a number of company cars, it can be quite significant. That enabled us then to work with our trade unions, our employees, our executive team to sort of say, well, can we take advantage of this? We also introduced the Cycle to Work scheme. You would get a voucher and go and buy a bike. So on both electric vehicles and the Cycle to Work scheme, that there are significant savings for employees.
I got my electric vehicle about 12 months ago, and my previous company car was a big diesel estate. I did have all the apprehensions that everyone seems to have about going electric, so I did feel like I was a bit of a trailblazer going for it early on, but I don't regret it at all. It's brilliant, it's so easy to drive. Obviously the benefits to the environment are well known and well established, and also, if I'm really honest, there was some financial benefits to me. I don't have to put fuel, diesel in this car, so I'm making a saving at least £200 a month just on the fuel.
I've seen quite a lot of colleagues who cycle to work now, and in most of the offices when I go in, normally the bike racks are full of bikes, different shapes and sizes, electric bikes, fold-up bikes. Yeah, there's some nice variety in what people are travelling in with.
I think the key thing is understanding employee behaviours is a great starting point. Where would they want to charge, for how long, and at what frequency? That can sort of play a role in what charge points you go for. And I think one thing that's really important is to think beyond the next couple of years in terms of cable infrastructure, to make the most of the civils and excavations. You don't want to be digging up the ground every time you put charge points in, so it's making sure you've got the appropriate ducts in place, that you've got the size for additional cable infrastructure if you need it.
We started rolling out electric vehicle chargers with 13 amp plugs in our car parks. So you get a relatively slow rate of charge, and I think what we found over the last couple of years is that our colleagues quite often like to or need to charge a little bit more quickly, so we're in the process of replacing some of those slower chargers with slightly faster chargers.
We have to make sure that it's inclusive for all colleagues, because of course not everyone does qualify for a company car or a car allowance. So we've tried to include all colleagues by having an affinity scheme with our lease car provider. There's discounts available for all colleagues if they wanted to buy an EV or a plug-in hybrid, and also people who don't drive. It's something that we're conscious of, so we've provided a loan available through payroll, which is interest-free, to buy a season ticket travel loan.
The sooner that you can start that journey, the better it is for your employees, for the environment and for you as a business. The reputational benefits of doing this and cracking on with action in this space will help position your business not just for your customers but also for attracting the talent of the future.
Start to have a look at the models that are out there, and if not right now to adopt one of them, start to put a plan in place, because at some point over the next 8 years you will be buying an electric vehicle of some sort ahead of the government's ban in 2030.
There's a big challenge with climate change at the end of the day, and people want to make a difference. Colleagues are very engaged in it, so it's up to us to enable them.
Get started on your journey today.